and Rui. We're here with Boston Culture.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Boston Culture's podcast. I'm your host, Bernard, along with Pat, and today we are in Banks Brancos in Brockton, along with CEO-founder Philippe, along with CEO-founder of Gas, Rui. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you guys for your time, man.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. No, so happy to connect. You know, we out here in Brockton right now, touching base with y'all. I think we already saw someone come in and, cop some merchandise. Y'all are a hot commodity in this area. We were just curious, to start off. I know that y'all have a history together, Banks and Brancos and Gas, Philippe and Rui. We just kind of want to know about y'all's relationship, y'all's history, how y'all have collaborated in the past, and how it's come to fruition to where y'all are at now.
Me and Rui met probably when I first started the store. Well, we met junior high, but he's always been into clothes and I've always been into sneakers and stuff. So when I started the store, we just kind of connected. And he first dropped Lesson with Bands in a Chinese platter plate type thing.
Say that again?
When he first dropped Lesson with Bands, it was like the way he packaged it was like with a fortune cookie, it was with a blunt and everything. That was like fire to me, and no one else was doing packaging like that. And then me and him just connected through his drops, and then me having the store together, and we just started working. He started making me my merch, and we just started going crazy.
100%. Yo, I want to tap into that the packaging of it being in a Chinese takeout container. Like, where did that come from? I know that you got a real marketing mind, Rui. Like, how did you come up with that, bro? That's brilliant.
I just try to stay very detailed as far as like concept. So, like from pretty much what I'm around, like my environment, like people would just get high, go get some food.
The munchies.
Like, only munchies. So I just decided to give like the munchies with a little. I decided to give the munchies with the packaging, pretty much. Just give people the taste, bring shit to life.
I mean, that's fire. I mean, like literally when you're thinking about like late night food,
it's gas.
It's gas.
And then you got the gas to the side.
Yeah.
Now, was this your own product or like
Yeah.
you just? Oh goodness.
So inside of the takeout would be like what type of merchandise was in there? T-shirts.
Come with it was the first Less Remo Bands release. So it was the first Less Remo Band shirt. It came with just like a personalized. I made sure all the fortune cookies were actually like sound positive. It wasn't just like I actually get to hand pick the fortune cookies, which is weird. Shout out.
So it was inside of a real cookie.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice.
Like a real, try to give people the real life
Experience.
100%.
Exactly.
No, I mean you bring it full circle. The whole packaging all together with that Gas 2 on the side. Banks and Brancos along with Gas. And then it's just like that piece. I think this is the item right here. This piece along with the blunt, that's just fire, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man.
And y'all really be hitting it home with the slogans. You got less friends, more bands. This one saying heroin kills. Like, we want to tap into kind of the creative minds of both of you, in terms of where these slogans come from. How do you originate those,
Definitely just try to make something that kind of sets in stone as far as like
Something that's simple but still speaks volume.
yeah, and it usually goes around like the mood, like wherever we're like feeling at that moment, it pretty much is the mood.
I feel like that speaks to the culture and that speaks to where people are moving. Could you tell us a couple more of like the quotes that like you guys have out there?
Like Dirty Money, Filthy World.
Can't beat them. Can't beat them. Join them. America runs on RX.
Yeah.
A bunch of shit.
Yeah, 100%.
It's good just to even like see some of the inspiration, like definitely on the items and like along the walls too. It just keeps you in that mindset, like you were saying.
Hell yeah.
Anything that you could disclose about your like workings on next or like?
Yeah, I actually have a collection about to release. It's gonna be good pieces, like a good amount of pieces. Trying to bring like it's gonna be like a New York vibe, pretty much. So
I feel that.
Definitely trying to expand more, bringing other like, cultures into without even leaving, exploiting out here.
How do you guys vary it from whether you're gonna do like a full fit, top and bottom, like the full suit, versus different pieces? Like this is just like an array of the fashion that's coming from Banks and Brancos and Gas?
I'd say, I feel like we will drop capsules, we'll drop little pieces just to like build it up until because we already have a majority of the chance we'll have something planned already. So we'll just kind of kill time and just drop pieces we already had sitting already. So we'll just keep releasing them just to, pretty much just kill time until the big release or a big event we're going to plan to.
This is just for me because I'm curious. You said capsules. What do you mean by capsules?
It's like little one-piece concept, like shirts, like a little theme, or depending if it's like a certain holiday or like a lot of like, I don't know, like for instance,
pieces of just something that revolves around that.
Yeah.
I know you guys also like work with like musicians and artists too. Out in August, you guys like recently worked with an artist on a collab with them. Could you talk a little bit about that?
It was a collab with Detroit rapper GT, and I feel like that went pretty well, honestly. Like that went very well. So
could you take us through the experience of this one?
Well, I actually linked up with him back in LA and gave him a shirt, and I feel like because like the reaction he got just from wearing the shirt, I feel like he kind of fucked with the energy. So I just reached out and just gave him like a game plan, and it was a go. And from there, it's just been like smooth, solid. Everything just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of things kind of.
Flint selling that shirt.
Yeah, he's selling it. Yeah, so.
Oh, nice.
Nah, that's fire. Yeah. Like, especially with the collaboration game, it's like, when people see other hardworking individuals, y'all make it easy to want to collab because like you came with a game plan. So it's like, it's not like you hit him up and was like, yo, how do we do this? Exactly. You came ready, and it's easy to just say yes to that. Like,
and he literally just said, let's go. That's it. And from there, it was it.
That's fire. And, we've been talking about Banks and Brancos and Gas as if y'all are the same entity. But, how would you describe your relationship? Is it kind of like, TDE, where it's like y'all are under the same umbrella, but, different artists type thing? Or, how would you describe the way that y'all work with each other?
Yeah, I would say like we're a powerhouse. Yeah. We work together. We revolve around each other. We bounce off each other. So
like
that's how we work our best. So
no, you can
I
see
need him. He needs just work.
It works hand in hand. Mm-hmm. I can't go left without from me right.
People fuck with what we do together. So
100%.
I mean, a little bit of the example was like earlier when you guys were just like looking at material together. And then just like going over the quality of what you like, and you're like, no, I knew you were gonna like this once you saw this. It's like, no slight to whoever they're not using now. I mean currently, but it looks like the bond between you guys are like solid and steadfast. You guys literally are working like right off one another.
100%.
It's solid to see, and it's great to see coming out of like the 508, coming out of Brockton. It's a true inspiration to like those who are younger who are trying to get to like where you got. Just taking an idea and then just like building it upon yourself. I know that you like started out in the barbershop, and then that's kind of how you got your like humble beginnings. Could you talk us a little bit about like your inspiration for like, what drove you to set yourself apart from like the rest?
I look up to a lot of different brands with a lot of different people. So like me growing up, like looking up to ice cream, BBC, Nike SB, just a bunch of different brands and stores that used to be around then. I used to just get influence from that, and it used to just drive me to just do it myself, but my own way at the same time. And we've just been doing that for years now. So and it's been people like it. You know what I mean? So it's been working. So that's great. Man. But I get influenced a lot by like a lot of other like Riccardi's. Like I like stores like that. I remember Carbon was back in the day used to be one of my favorite stores, and just like those things just kept me like always like on that path.
Yeah, man, you bringing us back with some of these references like ice cream, and I mean ice cream's still around, but just
like the time where it came.
Man.
Remember X Squared?
X Squared. Oh my gosh, like some stores on Newberry Street just kept. That's what like that's my childhood. So like me, I always kept my mind there.
Oh yeah, and the the nature of a barbershop, right? Like especially for young men of color is one of kind of like nurturing. It's one of tough love at times. It's one of sharing community. How do you feel like, growing up and blowing up through the barbershop has kind of influenced where Banks and Brancos has gone and is going to go?
I used to work at the barbershop. It was a store / barbershop. So me seeing the whole scene of the store was really it did something to me. Like I was like, yeah, I need to have a store. I want to have a store. Like it's not the barbershop, but it's just the beginning of everything that became now. So I feel like just being in the store scene, seeing sneakers every day, selling sneakers, just being in people's face, selling people's items, and just explaining them what brand is what, and just being in that field just kind of make me like want to do it myself. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have a store one day. I said this in high school. I made a business plan about it. And I was just I'm gonna attack it one day. Like, it just was time. And I used to work, and I just had to understand the whole career before I was able to be in the position I am now. So
that's amazing. I mean, like, for me, just hearing this, it's kind of like, I always tell people, like, when you're in a position or like in a job of service, it might be like a rough kind of go because you're really like working for the people. But you guys have taken that learnings and those humble beginnings to become what white collar people are looking to be, CEOs, where you're running the whole business at that point. And I think it's just great just to hear. I know a lot of people come up from whether it's hospitality or working in the restaurant, but you can learn so much at any time, and it's just simple. Just go to your barbershop. Just be around like the talk, just see the experience, because you can see it here from like, it looks like sneaker releases that you guys have to just kind of like all like the big things that people kind of like collect. And I really just love the vibe. It's like, it gives me the vibe like, man, I wish my barbershop looked like this. It's like the art on the walls is amazing. Is it a local artist or like your mind when you're theming up the design of this place too?
Well, that the West Coast, East Coast painting is a painting that I've been there since I worked in the barbershop. So that's a piece that I feel like is like timeless to me. It's like, I remember like me working literally in front of that painting when I was a kid. So I had to bring that with me when I started my store. So that's why that painting is specifically special. But the art around the store, I feel like it's just whatever artist is dope and they're good at what they do, and I'll tell them to come through, tag some shit up in the wall.
It's amazing. So if you're out there and you're artists, reach out to Philippe. He wants to work with you.
Yeah, man. And I really want to tap into vision, right? Like, y'all have the physical elements of the store and what already is. Like, we see the decorations that y'all have, but then y'all are always striving for more. So there's this element of vision where it's like you have to envision things that aren't yet. You have to come up with things that haven't existed before. And so I kind of want to tap into that mindset of y'all. And I guess my question is around, how do y'all wake up every day and innovate? Like, what do you tap into? What do you use as inspiration? I'm thinking of the individual.
I don't get comfortable. I feel like I don't get comfortable. I see, like, I'll get, like, tired. Like, I just be like, something new. We got to do something new. Yeah. Like, that's just how I feel.
Where do you find it?
In
the crevices of your mind.
Like, I just feel it. Like,
it's something that,
anywhere,
man.
Like, I'll just be like, all right, we gotta do something new. Like,
yeah.
And like something new sauce, new something, like new type of innovation, something. We gotta start doing something different.
I like it.
How do you navigate like sitting on something too long? I know some people are like, yo, it's got to be perfect before we put it out, and then by the time they put it out, it's like too much time has passed. So how do you like navigate that when you come up with an idea?
Not to say that doesn't happen, but it does. But usually time ends up working out. Like, for us, as weird as it sounds, like, I feel like everything always happens at perfect timing. Like, we'll hold on to something. Like, I just released some shirts that it's been like 4 years made.
Since the bar. Like,
and I feel like it hit now and it sold quick. So it was like, I feel like, I don't know.
Some pieces are timeless. So it's not really about when it was. It's just about getting it to the people. Making it right and getting it to the people. Because some things are just, they're fire. Like, there's no.
Some shit that's too fire, we just kind of hold on to it.
We hold on to it.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are like allergic to complacency. You guys can't be idle, always itching to do something.
I can't.
100%. And, talking about the collab between y'all, in let's say physical fitness, right? If you go to a class versus training individually, research has shown that improves accountability, it improves belief in self, it improves competition within the space, and so the same happens in like creative endeavors, where it's like if you're doing something in community, it allows for you to kind of have someone to bounce ideas off of, have someone to even like healthily compete against, you know what I mean? So I'm curious, what role has community played in like y'all collaboration, but also thinking about the community that you serve, Brockton and the broader Boston area, like what role does community have in
It has everything. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
It's everyone in this community, everyone that fucks with us. That's what got us here. That's what we thrive off of. If we don't have that, we don't have nothing. So
100%.
as long as we have the people that fuck with us, and we're just gonna keep on building off of that. Our energy comes from there. So
100%.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like sound checks with the community? Like I think of Ye holding these concerts, right? And part of his tactic was to play these concerts for thousands of people and get a little bit of feedback, because he was playing them when the album wasn't finished. So then he gets like a little bit of feedback. He goes back, makes edits, and then had another concert. Goes back, makes edits. Do you have any way to put out feelers before you drop a project, or do you just drop it and trust that your intentions are in a good place?
sometimes
sometimes like depending what it is, we'll kind of tease it a little bit.
Yeah.
But in like a way we won't even know what's going on. You're just like what's going on? Like what is
sometimes we get really good feedback off it, and that kind of like
makes you want to
Heroin
put
Kills,
everything
the
out.
Navy SEALs, like certain pieces, Burger Boys, like certain things just got a lot of like people like onto it. So
is there anyone that like holds more weight to you? Like, do you care more about someone who's renowned in the fashion industry in New York that you may link up with, or more artists? You really like hanging out with the artists, people in the music industry. You might tease a T and you hear, oh, I really like this. I can't wait for this to drop, from the artist and their group, versus some girl who's coming back from Fashion Week and says, Leap, like, do this. That doesn't matter to you, right?
I'd rather mess with the artists, because like I don't know.
Streetwear.
Depending what
Streetwear,
position like the person in the fashion obviously industry
course.
holds, but majority of the chance the artist.
Yeah. It's about that longevity. I mean, talking about that, we live in a world of trends and also recycling, right? Whether it's fashion or music, whatever it may be, we're constantly recycling, we're constantly following trends. And, when I think of trends, I think of kind of those, like Zara or some of these like fast fashion spots. I think of those high water plaid pants that have a colored stripe on the side, and people just rock them until they, just stop showing up in the store, because a lot of times people are just following trends. So it's like, how do y'all anticipate trends or like be aware of trends and not fall into short-term trends,
You can't be too trendy.
Yeah.
Like, not too trendy. You gotta go by like
What you underground shit kind of.
Yeah, I think it's just about what you want to you choose to like, what you choose to do right now. There's some things that's like you can bring back in style. There's things that like you can, I don't know. I just like, I've seen things like I don't know, like recycle in a way. So like you can bring something back that like wasn't hard for the last 5-10 years, and you can make it hard again. Like so it's like it's weird, and that you can just create a trend off of that. Like I wouldn't follow too much trends. I don't like that.
Y'all gonna bring jerseys back? Flip backwards?
Basketball, the long dresses for the women.
Bro, jerseys are still hard to me. I don't care what nobody says.
Well, I mean,
it's not bad.
To that point, Philippe, like you make a good point. Like sweatsuits, it is streetwear. Some people may have thought like, oh, you only see that like in like New York from like an Italian family or something like that. Nah, you don't really need to. I like honestly seeing it. I like the bring back of it. And I like how you said that you can bring it back and make it even stronger than the time that it was before. To Pat's questions earlier about like staying innovative and staying fresh, how do you create the next classic in your mind? And for me, when I look at it, I think it's a little bit about the quality that you put in. I know you're saying like it depends on the piece too, but for me, I'm just looking like, nah, I haven't touched anything kind of like this in like a long time, like true quality. Like you focus on the stitch, you're focusing on like the material. But I don't want to talk for y'all. I'm just curious, like how do you create the next classic? Like, yo, we're bringing this for streetwear, we're bringing this back, and we're doing it this way.
Bernie wearing some Banks and Brancos shorts for those who can't see.
Yeah. Big bank, take little bank.
There you go.
And again, another cool saying from the guys, like it's just something that you just keep your mentality around. So.
Right.
I feel like certain things you can like simplistic things can be very like they can big. Yeah, something so simple
like for me, like when I look at vintage and you see how many to the point of recycling, denim. See how much you can use denim in so many ways to like, it could be a vintage jean jacket for a girl, bell bottoms for someone. I don't know. Even go out to the country. It could be short shorts for a dude, Daisy Dukes. I don't know. But like with denim, you can finesse that so many different ways. And I feel like with this material, like streetwear, sweatsuit kind of material, it's a way that you guys brought it back. And it's like a way that I'm like, yo, I hope more people fucks with this. Because like sweat shorts, I haven't seen them in a long time. I love sweat shorts. Hell yeah. But like that's what I'm kind of talking about. And I think to your point too, like, you know them hoodies where we take scissors and we cut them off?
Yeah.
Like
Rui.
we even did like it was like a year ago, 2 years ago, we did like a neon glow in the dark party. Like we had like it was from all the way from embroidery to screen print, everything was neon glow in the dark. So it was like a good, like a lot of people didn't realize you could do that, which is like
innovative.
You know, just trying to like experiment everything with it, you know.
And to Philippe, when you were saying like you can't get too trendy, I don't know if you guys seen like people out there in fashion, I don't know if they're using custom ink or whatnot, they're doing that reflective.
Yeah, no show.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like when if you're at a rap party or whatnot, everyone's gonna be flashing, duh. So then they're wearing all that flashy thing, and it's like it's getting too much right now. I feel like it just came about like last year, and it already is played out. It's like I don't want to see it anymore.
Right.
But like sweat shorts, best believe I'm dapping a brother. Be like, I see your sweat shorts, brother. Banks Brancos, B&B.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 100%. What do y'all feel about you know, I wanted to ask y'all about the Burger Boy challenge because you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you know, when I was looking online, typing in the hashtag Burger Boy, I'm seeing people with stacks, you know, to their ear. Like, talk to us about the origin of it and you know what it came to be.
That one went crazy just because like the whole concept of Burger Boys, like people started to understand what a Burger Boy was, and then that's how the challenge became. Like everyone was like, "You're not a Burger Boy. Like you don't even know what burgers are." Like so they'll just take pictures of them, like you know, just with burgers and block out their face. It became like a challenge, and it just went crazy with the Burger Boy.
That's good. That's good. I love the
That's
marketing.
how we kind of marketed that specific drop.
Yeah. So you talk about glow in the dark party, you talk about Burger Boy, like, you know, when we talk about marketing, what have you found to be just like the most effective ways to like, you know, because there's the merchandise itself, but then there's the story that we put around it. Like, you know, what are some other successful stories y'all have had, or what role do you think that, you know, the story around a drop plays in its success?
He did Scarface drop. Yeah. That was a beautiful one. That was a great one.
I have to bring that back just because.
Hell yeah.
Like he did the packaging to like the tee, like every hoodie was wrapped like it was a bird or something, and it was just everything was the whole shop was like on some Scarface shit. So
it was just based pretty much just like I just try to focus on like because the movie, pretty much the collection is just based off like the rise to power and how he was able to manage and like for instance
nothing
like
into something.
Yeah, exactly. Like you know, like each hoodie
it's
came.
the mentality I feel like of the whole thing.
Try to hit the concert with that.
See, like from nothing to something, it's like accidentally, like they just put catchphrases that I feel like is going to be on a piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I can see where you're saying the inspiration just comes from being around my partner, my homie, my ride or die right there. Because what he says will inspire me to come up with something that might inspire him that helps us make the next merch. And it's funny to see, like, especially from all of this, that guy just coming in with the T just to now, like really seeing y'all work freestyle, like really.
I feel like we had to watch that movie mad times just to like, get little pieces out of it, you know?
Yeah, man.
It was dope.
And you taking note from it because it's that's a timeless movie. So they doing something right, you know? So tagging on to, you know, what the past, you know, heroes in our past.
World,
yeah, 100%. And, you know, talking about outreach and you know, getting your word out to the public. I know y'all have done some pop-up shops as well. Can you talk about some of those pop-ups and, you know, which ones you found to be memorable ones where you sold out or that they were real successful?
Yeah,
We have a couple.
We have a few that
Like, well, mine's personally was just the Scarface one. Then we had a T-shirt story one. It was kind of just based off the wire, like the brown paper bag stuff. Like that was like the first bag to be used for drugs. So like we had all the bag, like all the shirts come out. It was like a Pyrex shirt, so it was like the same color as the bag, and like it came with like a lighter, how to cook crack, like instructions and shit. It was like just, you know, like feel like we had a lot of successful, like, you know,
That was
our
great.
collab. Even our, we had a collab with Stadium from Randolph from Creme Shop.
Yeah, we
And
did great
we did
that day too.
big that day. We sold like 450 shirts in an hour. Like it was impressive. We did our thing. That was like, you know, that was a good, I don't know. We have
We've had some
pretty
good,
much, yeah.
some great pop-ups. And the great thing about it is like we've done it with like just us, just being us.
We
Like
didn't
not
have-
having celebrities, not having all this other things to make people attract to the pop-up. It was people attracting us for what we do and what we bring to the table.
Y'all remind me of the Oklahoma City Thunder with KD and Harden and Westbrook, just because they were organically grown. You know, it's easy to root for them because it's like they didn't have to buy out to you know, become the team that they were. So I rock with that a lot.
That's what I firm believe in right there.
Yeah.
If it's meant for us, it'll come to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it all organically, see what we can do like naturally, to see what we can get out of it before anything else. Like, that's the biggest blessing of it all. Like people fuck with us off of just us being us, like not anything else besides that.
I know you work with musicians and artists and whatnot. Would you ever work with athletes? Would you ever work with
Yeah.
like
I would.
you know, college
100%.
students who really like your stuff and they're like, I'm about to go to the league. I want to be repping.
Shit, college students
Sure.
making money now. You know,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good how they like transition into that. Like they teaching them more about that shit.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like
How
it was
to
never like
market
that.
yourself in basketball and anything. No
Yeah.
matter what you're doing, you can market yourself and
Can't just be rich off basketball, you know? Do other things.
yeah,
That's just like a capital. You might as well capitalize on the basketball shit.
yeah. What do you
Did you
wish?
just hear that? You can't get rich off of just only basketball. Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, that's a
That's
fact.
fire. What? I can see it, bro. I hear what you're saying. Like every day is just something else. You know, like one day, like Rui's gonna say good morning, and like Philippe's gonna be like, "Morning's good."
Right.
It's got to be a hit. I don't know.
What you know, talk about college. What do y'all feel like, you know, you now would have told or wished that you in school, whether high school, college, whatever, what would you tell you back then, you know, and what do you wish that they taught you in school that they didn't teach you?
They don't teach you how to like run a business in school.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's what I'm doing. Like I'm glad I learned my ABCs and my 1, 2, 3s.
Facts.
I don't know how. Like I had to learn how to run a business when I started becoming a businessman. So
Right.
school didn't teach me that.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out. It's like a whole new life. You have to figure it out.
Have you used the Pythagorean theorem
No,
since learning
never
it?
used nothing that
Yeah.
they taught me in my world today. So
Yeah.
besides obviously like how to be like a sociable person, how
Yeah.
to talk to people, and
But it's funny, like, you know, there's a saying in education where you learn all of the skills that you need to learn in kindergarten. Because it's like, you know,
ABCs and
sharing
1,
is
2, 3s.
caring.
Yeah, just
And,
like
yeah,
the
like
simple,
soft
like,
skills, like,
yeah.
you know, treat others the way you would like to be treated yourself. Like,
Yeah.
we have to be reminded that as adults,
they
you know.
distract the fuck out of you.
Yeah, man. You know, it's pretty wild. Like, I love that that's at the core of what y'all are doing is really just authenticity, you know, if there was a word to describe it, you know.
I mean, that's why I say it's like this is like really a dynamic duo that I've ever seen like really come out of the 508 South Shore, and like I'm really inspired. I'm just like I want to tell more people. Like I want them seeing me rock your ish. Where do you get it? Repping that Banks and Broncos out here. Like I want more people to know because this is inspirational. This is like if I have like a young buck, like I want him learning from like you guys and seeing like this guy just took a job from the barbershop and manifested his dreams. You could do that too. I mean, I know you're looking at 2K and imagining that you can just be an NBA player, but this is like a dream right here. And I'm not gonna lie, Rui, like there's something that's inspirational about you too, man. Before you actually jumped into like this, you were doing photography.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have another life. And that's why I really kind of like your eye and your vision, because like you really had to have that behind the lens.
Oh, yeah.
And we get to see so much of the hidden side of you through the packaging. That's like the cool thing. And like Philippe, when he's just like, sometimes it's just like, it just pays to be simple. A fortune cookie, the packaging, and a gas blunt. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss the old life of being a photographer? Or
I feel like it hasn't left because it actually helps me with
Helps him with his
like
craft
everything.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to showcase his own product. And now
Yeah,
he
so
knows,
it was definitely just kind of like a plus that I was able to actually have the experience in with a actually like big company as far as like such as Bodega and everything. So I feel like I definitely learned a lot. Definitely met a lot of people that helped me like as far as to put me where I am now too as well. So I don't know. I feel like if I didn't do photography, I probably would have never made clothes at all. Definitely was a big piece.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with him. He was in that world working for these companies, working for these brands, doing things for these people. Now he's doing everything himself. So it's like the same. It's like the same concept that me and him both went through.
And it's like you can just take what you need to learn from these companies and then just go run it on your own. Yeah, you don't have to stay stagnant for, I guess, what people call the rat race. You don't have to stay on the rat race forever. You just learn what you need to do. Get off that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In and out.
And to take that leap of faith really does take that. Sometimes you need to build to the point. Like some people take that leap when they're not ready, just because they're so tired of working for somebody, which I understand. But sometimes you need to. It's like everybody's path is their own. Until you feel ready to really bet on yourself, there's nothing wrong with pulling from.
Keep learning.
You know what I mean?
You're ready to take that jump.
And having
the playing with it, I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, man.
Exactly.
No bullshit.
Exactly, man. And I was curious about again tapping into that creativity where it's like I see the through line between photography and fashion and music is you are creating something that the world has never seen before. Inevitably, like when you create a product, it is something new. And, I kind of wanted to ask with clothing in particular, what is both of y'all's favorite, like, element of clothing? Is it embroidery? Is it, like, writing on a sleeve?
Stitching?
Is it the color, the stitching? Like, where does both of y'all minds go?
I like color a lot, and I kind of like to do things that's kind of, like, different a little bit. Like, at
Weird?
one point, yeah, like we started doing a lot of 3D foam embroidery, and, like the black light embroidery, just bringing this embroidery to another level, kind of. Yeah. And that was like something that I enjoyed doing. And then now we're just trying to kind of get innovative with how many different ways we can start making like prints and stuff like that.
I'll definitely say it's the embroidery and the hoodies though. Like the
embroidery,
quality
bringing
and the
it and
embroidery.
I feel like that makes the piece.
And whatever else we can learn along the way,
Oh yeah.
What else you could do. I just found out you could do like crystal infused screen printing or some other shit. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, some other shit.
Jeez.
This is just like a loopy, crazy kind of a question, I guess. You guys constantly put out hot fire. Like, so if you guys have shitty trash, that must still be hot. But if it's not released, are you saving it for something? Like, what's something where you're like, not yet, next year? Or is it like time sensitive, like season sensitive, but it came out too late or anything like that? So you got to hold it.
I feel like
weird with it.
Yeah, like some pieces are like made, but like it's probably missing like
still not done yet. It's
still
still
like a detailed background.
So we just hold off on it until we kind of come up with it.
Do you ever get tempted to wear it out?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
And do you? Why not?
Yeah, hell yeah.
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 And then is it the feedback from the people that actually helps you finalize it? Like to your whole point about the Kanye thing. It's like you put out the feeler, you rock it. I'm not supposed to rock it. Philippe's gonna kill me if I'm rocking this, but everyone loves it. And they gave me what I need to bring back to like the discussion room to finalize it.
Honestly, we kind of discuss it between us. I feel like
we don't really wait for people to tell us how they feel about.
We expect them to trust
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Right.
That's our job for how we see it. Like you let us do what we gotta, like what we do. So
Then it's
like
fire.
if you like it, like it. Not everything's for everyone. So.
Yeah, I would be rocking those unreleased projects, just to, it's like exclusivity is currency around here. So it's like, even though we have no intention of dropping this, if you see me wearing it and nobody else wearing it, it's like, come through the store, check out what we got,
Don't ask about it, but just come through.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, guys, honestly, thank you so much for honestly chopping it up with Pat and I, taking us like through your store and like seeing the merch that you guys got. I know you guys got some projects going out on the way, some pop-ups too. Is there anything you want to disclose, any dates like right now that people should be paying attention to coming up as they in the school season, fall right now?
We have a drop for his birthday. We have a lot of fall stuff coming.
And we have an event on the 25th for like a paint and sip. If people want to come by,
Okay.
Come enjoy.
Yeah, we have a lot of events and stuff coming up.
Oh yeah.
Anything with any artists that we should be aware of, or anyone that you guys think like we should be looking out on the rise? Like if we haven't listened to this local, this is someone who we're working with that people should kind of pay attention to.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, we're trying to work with a lot of people. Like whether you're in the industry or not. Like I don't like you could be upcoming as long as you're hard. We're gonna fuck with you. So
Solid.
Yeah. Last two questions I want to ask both of y'all is what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten and the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten? I want to leave the people with, you know, I know there's a lot of creatives that will tap into this episode and, you know, just thinking about their own path. So, you know, what is one good piece of advice, one terrible piece of advice that y'all have both gotten?
gotten or to give?
Ooh. Let's say gotten. Because hopefully if you got it and it's resonated with you, then you would also give it.
I've gotten good advice like, all right, you can't, in this career, you're supposed to listen to people in the career that you're in. You don't listen to a teacher when you're selling sneakers. Like, they don't know anything about selling sneakers. Like, that's just critic talk. Like, listen to someone that's actually, like, in your field to learn from them before anything. Because a cop can't tell you how to be a teacher. A teacher can't tell you how to be the cop. It's just how life works. So I feel like that's, like, a great piece of advice I've gotten. You have to learn and work with the people that's doing what you're doing. That's why me and him bounce off each other so well, because we're learning as we go, but we're not taking in anything else, that any other outside talk or any, like, type of stuff like that.
And you guys both are like distinctual, where you guys both bring a certain piece to one another. It's not like the same thing from him is like, oh, I was already thining that. That's amazing.
Like, yeah, sometimes I come up with shit and he'd be like, whoa, and then he'd talking to me and I'd be like, oh shit, bro, what?
Yeah.
It's an animal. Like,
Rui, for you, like the best advice you've heard, and we'll end with the
to
worst.
really, like, when you invest yourself, take it seriously and really, like, double down and invest yourself, though, like 100%.
Yeah.
You know, you can't half-ass it because it just sets you back too much, you know.
100%.
if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it. For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Half step, you gotta do it.
Yeah. Any worst piece of advice? Not to end on the worst, but I'm curious. Don't believe in yourself.
Worst piece of advice.
You can't do this.
I've heard go get a job. I mean, that's bad advice. So that's probably.
That's that conditioning, you know?
That's
we
like,
think we need that.
negative, like, I'm trying to run a business. I don't want to hear go get a job. Like,
Right.
That's not advice. Like, it's probably the worst advice.
100%.
Go work at Costco. I think that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's nothing you can think.
I'm trying, like, I don't know. I feel like, not that I don't listen to people, but, like, I feel like he said, like, I don't know. I take advice from, like, shit I know I'm supposed to be taking advice from.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people can be telling me something. Like, not that I act like I'll hear you, but, like, chances are, like,
They don't know what they're.
yeah.
They're
So,
not in the
like,
field. They can't tell you.
sometimes you gotta let people just talk, you know, just to, like.
You guys don't mind me asking. I'm just like just curious. I don't want to switch or derail. Are you guys spiritual?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like how you guys talk is just like so wise, but like literally, like I'm like these prophets. Like what's going on right
I think
now?
he's a prophet. He won't tell me though.
And I bet you would feel the same way about your man.
I do.
Goodness.
Special people.
But is there any like certain tie to anything? It's like nah, I'm close with nature. You know.
It's probably in our ancestors or something. Something like, I don't know. We're not normally like, we're not here for like normal shit. Like, you know, like we're actually here to actually do something. I don't know if it's gonna be global. Hopefully it is, but I definitely know we're here for like a big fucking reason. So it's like we just kind of sort it out and like things play its way. You know.
It's like life is purpose, is what he's saying. Would you agree, Philippe?
Yeah, 100%.
There's no reason why everything happens the way it happens.
This is like a whole other life.
Yeah.
I
I don't know why it chose us, but it chose us, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Little
That's
bullshit.
amazing.
And when you feel a connection like that, it's like, you know, what you were saying about outside voices, it's like, y'all really can't penetrate this, you know, this connection, you know?
It's in us, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
That's fire. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for chopping it up with us, telling us a little about your history, what to come, what to expect. Again, everyone, this has been Banks and Brancos founder, Leap and Gas's founder, Rui. This is another episode of Boston Cultures Podcast.